super, super stable. Time to service the Mojave Grom. Let's see, we need to swap out the worn out servo, worn out steering links, worn out knuckles, need a servo horn for the servo, worn out diffs, some new hinge pins for the control arms, some control arms, and some tires. Just, couple little few minor things. So this little guy has been my go-to basher for the last, ever since they came out. I have so much fun with this truck, it's ridiculous. I would have never thought such a small little RC truck would have given me so much joy, but I love driving this thing. This King Val brushless conversion has just been excellent. It's really made this thing a whole new vehicle. Now, I've got a couple hundred drives in this thing now, and it has wrecked and somersaulted and slammed into brick walls and poles and just nonstop. Now, it has blown one rear end, and I have one of those cheap Chinesium ones in there now because I was waiting for these to be available again, and now that they're here, they're going to get swapped out. But with all of the constant wrecks and somersaults, it's got some slop. Look at that. Both control arms, the steering knuckles, everything is just worn out. And it did take a couple hundred runs to do that, and runs where this thing is doing well over 40 miles per hour slamming into stuff. So it's a pretty robust little truck. These will be its third set of tires. These are set number 2, and they're not shot, but they're getting there. And I also think I'm going to pull out this SR315 receiver and put in the one with the gyro and see how it does. The other thing is the servo. Servo's gotten really worn out. I have replaced the stock servo horn with this HR hot racing servo horn, but since I am putting in this new micro servo, I have to replace its servo horn with the cat. Misty, she always wants to help, and I don't know what. Heck, I just had to. Oh, there it is. So, the stock servos on these are a 20 tooth. Excuse me, Captain. Excuse me. So the stock servos on these are 20 tooth, if memory serves. And since this is a 25 tooth, you do have to make sure you get the right servo saver, servo horn for it. And fortunately, GPM makes them in all different styles, 21, 20, 25. And this should be the 25. I don't know. I made sure I ordered the right one for this. So if this is a 25, this is a 25 to match him. And also, since this steering linkage here is also worn out, figured, okay, might as well put some aluminum parts in there. And same thing with the steering knuckles. Might as well go with the slightly larger bearing aluminum ones. Now, one thing that I am adamant about not doing in aluminum, even though it looks awesome, is the control arms. That's why I just bought the stock Arrma plastic control arms. You want something to be able to have some give when you wreck. And if you're beefing up the hubs and beefing up the steering with aluminum parts, you still want a plastic part in there to be able to take the impact. So when it crashes and it does stuff like that, you're not bending the control arms. I got a couple friends that have put aluminum control arms on theirs, and one tumble later, they ruined all the control arms. So I'm going to keep the plastic ones on there just to absorb the impact from accidents. So definitely want to stick with the plastic ones for that. You can upgrade these steering knuckles. Dang it, Misty. You can upgrade these steering knuckles and not have to worry about them bending. And it's really nice because you do get rid of a lot of the slop and from the plastic wearing out, separating, getting wider as you wreck it, as you play with it. So this will help with that. This part, I'm really not sure if aluminum was the right way to go, because with the impacts, you know, of course you could bend that, you could bend these, but I really think with the keeping the control arms stock plastic that I won't have that problem. I did get some hinge pins as well too. I don't know that it's really gonna need them, but I figured better to have them on hand so that when I pull this apart, if I do need them, they're here. If I don't need them, no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and just get to it and start slapping all this stuff in and debate if I want to rob my gyro ESC, or excuse me, receiver from my CEN Puma, or if I might want to rob it from my my Bog Hog, since I don't really play with either one of them, and they both have a gyro receiver in it and don't really need it. Golly, look how... See, that's how loose and worn out these things get. That is just ridiculous. And then, look how much slop. So this thing, the last couple races, he's been all over the place. So I'm going to go get all of that started, and we shall be back with the finished product here in just a second. Stay tuned. Misty, stop growling. And just like that, we are back. So I've pulled out the SR315 receiver and put in this AVC receiver. Just barely fits in there. And replaced the servo with this new high output servo, as well as the servo saver with the 25 tooth to match the new servo. Got the aluminum steering links in place, the aluminum steering knuckles, and I kept the stock, just the new stock plastic Arrma control arms, because that's where you want to have some give. That way you can make use of these new aluminum steering bits, steering knuckles, and not worry about bending anything if you do get it in an accident. That's why I always recommend just stick with the plastic control arms, because that is your give point. Also got the upgraded front and rear diffs in there, and some fresh rubber. So this little thing is about ready for a rip. Turn this thing on. And let's see. For some reason, my AVC receiver, this one might be a little damaged. I'm not really sure, because it does take it a minute before it actually links to the radio. So the radio's on, but there's no link, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it'll get it. I've had this problem with one of my other AVC receivers before, where sometimes it takes a minute. I don't know why. There we go. So now it's linked. So hopefully I'll figure out what that problem is, but look at that servo. That servo's response is so fast. And then with the AVC, now we got some stability control. So let's see how this little guy does. And we got plenty of speed. I really like this King Val brushless setup. It has proven to be a very solid little setup. And I'm still maintaining my little Traxxas or Spectrum, not Traxxas, Spectrum 2-cell plug, so I can still run the stock 2-cell batteries in here, or run this 3S battery in there. I really like the speed it has with the 3S. On this thing, I'm able to get over 50 miles per hour on 3S. It does right around 40-ish on 2S, so it's plenty fast. Plenty fast. So that's pretty much it for the build. And the upgrades and the stuff that I have worn out as I've put a couple hundred runs on it. So I guess I'm going to just take it out and see how it performs with these new upgrades. See if it handles a little bit better. I'm sure it will. And I'm sure it's going to steer a whole lot nicer because now we got a little bit of slop, which is just, that's just how they are. But nowhere near what it was before. And that servo is so quick. Even under pressure. See, I'm pushing it all the way down. And it still has plenty of power. Awesome. Alright, let's see how these modifications do. Wow. Right off the rip, just able to go wide open throttle. Look at that little guy go. Super stable. Super stable. Brakes work good. Turn-in is great. Wow, I don't know if the AVC is what I could thank for this, or just the better diffs, or just tightening up everything, but let's do a wide open throttle, just hit. So much better. She's rock solid stable. I like it. Alright, so yeah, these modifications were worth it. The better diffs, the aluminum upgrades, the AVC, all that combined has just made this thing a little beast. That still traction rolls. But I don't care, because this thing is awesome. Awesome. And jumps so nice. Those HR shocks definitely helped out too. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna call that an end to this video. I hope this was helpful for everybody. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. This is the Dude RC. Catch you on the next one.